Something has shattered the peace of Balmoral. A demand so audacious, so politically explosive, that it has reportedly left King Charles III utterly stunned, forcing him to confront a ghost of the past he thought was finally buried. And at the center of it all is the Queen herself. This is Royal Report 24/7, and if you're fascinated by the real power struggles behind the palace walls, you need to stay with us. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because what we're about to delve into isn't just gossip. It's a potential earthquake for the House of Windsor. Like this video and share it if you want to see more reporting like this. The story is broken by several insider sources speaking to tabloids. Is this? Queen Camilla has made a deeply personal, yet profoundly controversial request of her husband, the king. She wants her son, Tom Parker Bowles, to be granted a royal dukedom. Not just any dukedom. The Dukedom of York. Let that sink in. The title historically reserved for the monarch's second son, currently held, though not used, by the king's own brother, Prince Andrew. The same Andrew whose name is now synonymous with scandal, exile, and royal disgrace. According to these reports, Camilla's appeal is rooted in maternal legacy, a desire to see her bloodline etched into the fabric of the monarchy that she now helps to lead. But for King Charles, sources whisper, it feels less like a request and more like a detonation in the carefully laid foundations of his slimmed-down monarchy. To understand why this is so explosive, you have to walk the cold, portrait-lined corridors of Windsor history. The Dukedom of York is a title dripping with significance and, lately, infamy. Created and recreated for centuries, it's a title that has often come with baggage. From the future King George VI, who took the throne after his brother's abdication, to the current Duke, whose fall from grace is the monarchy's greatest modern crisis. When Andrew was stripped of his military affiliations and royal patronages and effectively banished from public life, the title didn't vanish, but it entered a kind of deep freeze. The assumption was that it would remain dormant, perhaps for a generation, its toxic associations left to fade. But now, insiders claim, Camilla is urging the king to thaw it out, to cleanse it by bestowing it upon her own son, a popular figure in London society, but a private citizen with no direct royal lineage. The argument, as framed by her alleged allies, is one of renewal and inclusion, a symbolic gesture that would fully integrate her family into the royal structure and move a tarnished title into a new, uncontroversial era. However, palace veterans, those who understand the language of symbols as a second tongue, are reportedly aghast. To them, this isn't renewal, it's a dangerous rewriting of the rules. The Dukedom of York is not merely an honorific. It is a core component of the royal ecosystem, traditionally weaving the monarch's direct descendants into the nobility's fabric. Passing it to the queen's son from a previous marriage would be an unprecedented deviation from centuries of tradition. It would send a signal, critics murmur, that the monarchy's ancient structures can be bent for personal familial ambition. And what of Prince Andrew? While he retains the title legally, he cannot use it publicly. But sources close to the Duke's camp suggest a seething resentment at the mere suggestion. To see the title he was born into, the identity he held for decades, potentially handed to Camilla's son, would be the ultimate humiliation, a final, glittering symbol of his complete erasure. The fear among Charles's advisors, according to insiders, is that this move could provoke Andrew into a state of desperate, unpredictable publicity, dragging the entire scandal back into the blazing spotlight, just as the king has tried to steady the ship. This is where we see the profound personal dilemma for Charles. This is not a distant cousin or a political opponent making this request. This is his queen, his steadfast companion through decades of turmoil and public scorn. Camilla's loyalty was his anchor. Her elevation was his hard-fought victory. To deny her this profound wish for her child could fracture the very partnership that sustains him. Insiders describe late-night conversations at Balmoral, the weight of history pressing down on the king. He is, by all accounts, a man caught between his heart and his crown, between the love for his wife and the immutable duty to an institution he has spent his entire life preparing to lead. But the intrigue deepens when we consider the wider chessboard of the royal family. Every move with a title has a ripple effect. What does this say to Prince William, the future king, who is building a modern, streamlined institution? Would he want an active Duke of York from a non-direct line in his future reign? And then, lurking in the background of every royal calculation are the ghosts of other tensions. The reported frost between the Prince and Princess of Wales and the Sussexes. While this particular drama is separate, it feeds the same narrative of a family struggling to define its modern boundaries, where personal desires and public duty are in constant, tense negotiation. Some royal commentators speculate this could be a trial balloon, a story deliberately leaked to gauge public and institutional reaction. The British public's response to Camilla has been a journey from hostility to gradual, if sometimes hesitant, acceptance. Would they see this as a step too far, a blurring of lines between the royal family and the royal household? Or would they view Tom Parker Bowles, a man who has navigated his mother's controversial position with quiet dignity, as a worthy holder of a rehabilitated title? The historical parallels are eerie. We've seen monarchs strained by the demands of family before. Edward VIII's abdication for Wallis Simpson was the ultimate clash of heart and crown. The current situation is less apocalyptic, but it operates in the same shadowy realm. It's about what a king owes to his family versus what he owes to history. Can Charles, who waited so long for the throne, afford a controversy of this magnitude so early in his reign? A controversy that touches on scandal, succession, and the very definition of who is, and who is not, a core part of the monarchy. As the autumn mists gather over Scotland, the king is said to be pondering his decision. There is no easy path. To grant the title is to risk a pending tradition, enraging his brother, and unsettling the royal hierarchy. To deny it is to risk a profound personal estrangement at the very heart of the monarchy. Insiders say the atmosphere is one of suspended animation, a quiet before a potential storm. And so we are left with the haunting questions. How deep does a king's gratitude run? Can a tainted title ever truly be cleansed? And is the price of personal happiness for a monarch always, inevitably, paid by the crown itself? This story is still unfolding in the whispered corridors of power. For the latest on this and every other tremor within the royal world, you need to be part of our community here at Royal Report 24/7. Your support is what allows us to delve deeper. So, if you want to follow this royal cliffhanger to its conclusion, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Where does loyalty lie for a king? We'll be watching, and we'll report back to you with every new development. Until then, this is Royal Report 24/7, signing off.